All right, today we're working on page 11 in our packet. It is an overall, the idea that these are all transformations. So I want to write that on the top of the paper so it doesn't get confused. Transformations. And there are 4 transformations that we're focusing on. We've got reflections, which we did. We've got translations, which is shifting up, down, left, or right. And then we have dilation, making it bigger or smaller. And we have rotation, which you pick a point and you rotate the shape around it. So in this example, we have the rectangle PQRS that we need to graph. And once we graph its image, we're going to do its second image under the translation of right 8 and down 5. So go ahead, take a minute and graph this. Make sure you label it. So starting at the origin, P is -3 and then +5. So make sure you do your X and your Y. Q, -4, +2. And then make sure you attach these together. All right, R, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0. That is R, and S. 4. Now, it did say it was a rectangle, so we're going to get a nice rectangular shape, not something all over the place. All right, now that we've got our rectangle, we're going to change things. So over here, we're going to write, here's our original, and then we want to do P prime. Now, read this again. It says you're going to translate it, which means we're going to slide it right 8 and down 5. Now, if you think about that, whatever your X is, if we move it right 8, we're adding 8 units to it. And if it says down 5, whatever your Y is, we're going to subtract it. So without doing the graph, I can look and say, okay, I have -3, I add 8. We can throw that in the calculator. -3 plus 8 is a +5. That's moving it right 8. Let's try it. So if I'm at P, right here, and I take and I move it 8 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you can see I am at 5 on the x-axis. Now, I also have to move it, before I plot my point, I also have to move it down 5. The y value was at 5, and then I take away 5. That puts me at 0. So we shifted over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to go down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you can see is my P prime. So I can do this pretty easily mathematically by shifting the point, adding, subtracting, or I can count. All right, so let's do Q by counting. So it's not I move 8, put a point in the down. It's I move 8 and I move down. So go, where's Q? Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my Q prime. Okay, so if you look at the ordered pair, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sorry. What are we? 4. So the X is 4. And the Y is -3. All right, well, let's see if that works. We would have taken -4 plus 8, right? We moved right 8, that's positive, which gives me 4. And we would have taken the 2 and subtracted 5, which gives me -3. So I got the right point and I double checked it. All right, so what do you guys like better? Do you like counting the points on the graph and then doing the ordered pair, or shifting the ordered pair and graphing it?
Pair.
I like the ordered pair too. It's a little quicker for me. So I'm going to take my 3 plus 8 to get R prime as 11. I'm going to take my Y value and take away 5 to get my Y value of -5. Now, if you're sort of questioning it, you can go ahead and still count it out. But I'm going to go ahead and graph it. All right, there's my 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my -5. And that is R prime. All right, so go ahead, do the last one, whichever way works for you, but we need it graphed and we need the ordered pair. Make sure you're labeling them prime. Here's your pre-image, here's your new image. So if I do the math, I would take and add 8. So 4 plus 8 is going to give me 12. And I would take my 3 and go down by taking 5 away from the y value, which would give me -2. And that is S prime. Okay, so I'm at 12. I'm down at -2. And it should also be the same image. It shouldn't be scrunched or twisted. It should just be slid. Like you just picked it up and went and slid it with a cursor. All right, so we're at our next one. Again, same thing. We now have a parallelogram, so it's not a rectangle. TUVW, so let's go ahead and graph that. And then we're going to take it and translate it. Left 4, down 5. All right, so go ahead, graph each point, double check to look up. Make sure we agree. Make sure you label them. So -1 to the left and then up 4. And then U is +2 for X, so to the right, and then up 5. And V, +4, +3, and W, 1, 2. Makes it a little easier when this is set for us. All right, so now that we've got our image drawn, it's all labeled, oops, except for W. We are going to go ahead and translate it left. Now, if I'm at this T and I am translating it left 4, that means I'm taking away. I'm going negative. So it would be whatever my X is, take away 4. And then whatever my Y is, I'm moving down 5, so I'm also taking away. So X -4, and then the Y value is going to be -5. Okay, so if I'm at T, -1 minus 4, I should be at -5. And then the Y value is 4 minus 5, I should be at -1. So let's test that and see. I should be at -5, -1, and that should be my new T value. Okay, so they told me to move left 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that lines up. And then it told me to move down 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm content. I've double checked myself. So again, you could do the point first by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plot your point, which is U prime, and then name that point -2, 0. And watch you don't flip your X's and Y's. So that's one way you can do it. Or again, you could take the value like 4 minus 4, because X minus 4, and 3 minus 5. So this one, I'm going to get 0, -2. That would be my new V prime. 0, -2. All right, and then W, same deal. Take your 1 minus 4, take your Y value, which is 2 minus 5. Make sure you give the W prime, the actual ordered pair is -3, -3. And it should make sense. It should look correct. Was that W prime? The shape should be the same. It shouldn't be distorted in any way. It shouldn't be pulled or bigger or smaller. It should just be shifted. All right, so continuing on. This is an application problem, but it's not something that we normally deal with because a computer programmer would do it. But computers are often used to create animation. The graph shows repeated translations that result in an animation of the star. So you can see you start with star 1, it moves up and to the right, it keeps moving up to the right, and then it starts only moving to the right. So you can go 1 through 6. Find the translation that moves star 1 to 2. Okay, so what's the translation for star 1 to 2? And the translation that moves star 4 to 5. So we are not moving anything, we are finding the translation. So star 1 to 2. You need to tell me, okay, did it move up, down, left, or right? Well, it definitely moved right 2 units, didn't it? Moved right 2. So +2. So right 2 units. And then what else did it do? it moved up 2 units. So if it moved up 2 units, that's because it's positive, so up 2 units. So that is the translation for stars 1 to 2. All right, what about star 4 to 5? It moved right 1, 2, 3 units. Don't count the star and where the star ends. This is 1, 2, 3 units. So right 3 units. Did it move up or down?
No.
All right, so that's it. Right 3 units. You could say 0 up or 0 down, but that's good enough there. Okay, that's all you had to do there was name the transformation. Now, if we look at this, if we would add 2, we get -3. Add 2, we get 0. And here, if we said add 3, we do get to 4, and add 0, we get to stay at 4. Okay, so go ahead and jump to page 12. This is one that you're going to do as a practice worksheet now. So page 12.